Okay, significant figures. Let's start with knowing that the numbers 1 through 9 are significant. And zeros are sometimes significant. Now, starting with our rule that numbers 1 through 9 are significant, then the number 123 has 3 significant figures. Zeros before a number, or zeros before non-zero numbers, are never significant. For example, say we take the number 0, 1, 1. This number is really just the number 11, and it has 2 significant figures. Let me fix this here. I don't want to get confused with decimals. Okay. Now, another example is the number 0.11. And this number also has a 0 in front of it. And because it's in front of the number, we say it is not significant, and therefore this number has 2 significant figures. Now, my next example is the number 110. Now, the rule for zeros at the end of the number is they are not significant, so this number has 2 significant figures. But you can make it significant by writing a line over the 0. In doing so, now you have made the 0 significant, and this number has 3 significant figures. Now, another way to make a 0 at the end of a number significant is to put a decimal in that number. So let's take a look at this number, 0.110. This number has a decimal. It has a 0 at the end. And because it has a decimal, the 0 is significant, and we have a total of 3 significant figures. Another example we have would be 0.110. The 0 before the number is never considered significant, so that one doesn't count. The 0 at the end does count because there's a decimal, so this number has 3 significant figures as well. And my last rule for zeros has to do with zeros in the middle of a number. For example, 5,005. The number 5,005 has 2 zeros in between 2 significant digits, so the zeros in between also become significant. So this number, 5,005, has a total of 4 significant figures. Okay, now what if you are multiplying 2 numbers together, or you are dividing the numbers? There is a rule for rounding your answer. The answer should have the same number of significant figures that the number in the calculation with the smallest number of significant figures has. For example, say you have the number 600 times or multiplied by 11. That equals 6,600. Now the number 600 has 1 significant figure, and the number 11 has 2 significant figures. So my answer should therefore be rounded to 1 significant figure, or to 7,000, which is 1 significant figure. Now, what if you are adding or subtracting numbers? The rule for adding or subtracting is that the answer should be rounded to the same place as the number in the calculation that is the least precise. For example, say we're adding 31.1 to 41.22. The answer will be 72.32. My least precise number in the calculation is 31.1, or it's precise enough to, we would say, the tenths place. Therefore, my answer should be rounded to the tenths place, or 72.3. And lastly, let's do some practice. And I'd just like you to tell me how many significant figures are in these numbers here. And I'll give you a moment to do that. So A has 3 significant figures. B has 3 significant figures. And lastly, C has 3 significant figures as well.